My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way.
Wow, she's tone deaf. I'm gonna.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. So lovelies, I came across these stitches on my For You, and I thought to share where this bank-colored woman is about to lose it all, because she decided that she was going to come out comfortably to mock those people who are actually losing all of their benefit, although she is actually a nurse. Like, imagine a nurse mocking people. What do you actually think that she was going to do to her patient? The thing is that the internet is not having it, and she is about to lose it all. I mean, people are finding her out. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright,
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
I'm stitching this because people need to see what's happening in real time when a nurse publicly mocks people receiving SNAP benefits as if poverty is a personal failure. So this nurse, who identifies as Tina Coleman, an RN at Crenshaw Community Hospital in Laverne, Alabama, thought it was appropriate to belittle people who rely on public assistance, many of whom are the same patients we care for every day. So I'm gonna let you see the clip.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
So this is the ugly side of nursing culture we don't talk about enough. The performative, I work 2 jobs pride that disguises contempt for the poor. Nursing isn't about judging who's worthy of help. It's about care, equity, and humanity. And we've seen too many stories of bullying, discrimination, and classism in this field. It is time for accountability. The profession needs to study it, name it, and root it out. Because when you humiliate the vulnerable, you do not represent nursing. You absolutely disgrace it.
Really scary is healthcare workers who are MAGA. This woman in particular is making fun of SNAP recipients. And what she does is she's like, I'm responsible for the clothing and feeding, la la, and she brings out her dog. She apparently, from looking at her page, is a registered nurse, I think in Alabama, red state. And to have somebody who is a healthcare provider who has so little compassion and in fact has contempt for people who are on public assistance is just frightening. We already talk about what does unconscious bias do to people, and when somebody has your literal health and welfare in their hands, and they are sitting here in work clothes making these kinds of videos, literally making fun of people who are on public assistance, that's frightening. Does anybody know who this is? She has her information pretty public, but as you can imagine, it's not stitchable.
This message is for Tina Coleman. Tina Coleman in Alabama.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers.
Is that coke jar that you're suffering with? Like from chronic use of coke? Like, I understand that you're a nurse and all right now, and I think that's lovely, and I would never, ever, 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 ever come for your deliverance. But when you go pulling moves like trying to be funny about the SNAP recipients and all of the things, and because you're an RN, you have to work 2 jobs so that your dog can eat every 2 hours, and all of the things, you have bigger things to worry about and bigger fish to fry, like staying on top of your recovery. Thank you.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. I am responsible for keeping him fed because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayer.
Not only do I find it completely wild that you post that because you're a fucking nurse, the irony of that all is I went to your page, right? And you have a GoFundMe set up for someone that you know. Nurse who helped others needs our help. Critical home repair. So a nurse that you know needs assistance because they can't afford some things that they need. After 30 years of caring for others as a dedicated nurse in Monroe County, they need all these repairs done. Well, why doesn't your nurse friend just get a second job? Did she not save up enough money to take care of this? Sounds irresponsible of her to be asking others for a handout or for assistance. Unless, and bear with me here, babe, sometimes people fall on hard times despite everything that they've done. And sometimes when that happens, they might look for financial assistance. Anyways, I hope that other nurse's house gets fixed, but really she should be just pulling herself up by the bootstraps. I mean, my God.
My baby has not eaten in 2 hours. That is why I'm on my way to my second job tonight, because it is my responsibility to make sure that he eats, not the U.S. taxpayers. I am responsible for keeping him fed and clothed.
Tina Coleman, to be exact. It is my job as a beautiful Black woman to make sure that the world knows that you, Tina, as an RN, are okay with children suffering due to malnutrition. Tina Coleman. Now, since you had your RN degree and you knew every fucking thing, you should have knew that you needed to turn your badge around in every photo. But see, me, I have time. So I scrolled a little bit to April, and I saw that you were silly enough to forget, because people like you always forget. So, Tina, I've noticed that you've worked in Alabama and you've also worked in Kentucky, places where there are large populations of people who do need SNAP benefits and Medicaid. And I would never want someone like you to be working in the healthcare field that had to ever deal with someone who unfortunately needed those benefits. And not only that, as an RN, you should know the signs of a stroke. Have the day you deserve, Tina Coleman.
I would be really curious to know how this registered nurse feels about her Medicaid patients, if she feels this way about SNAP recipients. You can always complain to the Board of Nursing. Just a thought. I'll go ahead and put the link to the complaint form in the description and in the comments.
SNAP victims, here's a great idea. Go get a job. I mean, I have to go to work 5 days a week. Why don't you? And I am so sick and tired of hearing, oh, people aren't going to have holidays and blah, 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 blah. Get a job. It is not my job to support your ass. Get your ass out and get a damn job.
Her bio says Jesus is king, and of course it does, because that's exactly what I was looking for when I went to her bio. And that's what I expected, because when somebody comes on here and trashes people and says they basically need to get a job because I don't want to feed their asses, that's exactly what I expected to see on her bio. Do you understand that most of the people who are receiving SNAP, if they can work, are working, and you say, oh, well, just go get a job. And then I see in the comments, somebody says that exact thing, and you say, well, if you think I'm talking about the working class, you've got a problem. No, that's exactly what you're talking about. Because if you're not talking about them, who are you talking about? Who do you want to get a job? The elderly, the disabled, or children? Who are you looking for to not support their asses? Whose ass are you not supporting? I'm sick and tired of hearing people like you come on here and put people down because they need assistance, because we have an economy and a setup that is against people, that works against people every single day. It is not meant to benefit the poor. It is meant to benefit the rich. And that's what you voted for, a continuation of that. So I'm sick and tired of hearing your ass come on this app and complain about having to give a few dollars to help people get by.
You EBT people that are out there, unless you can't walk, talk, move your arms, move your legs, you shouldn't be on EBT. I don't care. Had kids, decided to have sex with some piece of shit that doesn't want to help you support the children that you produced. I don't give a fuck. That's not my responsibility, and that's not my problem. Okay?
So this guy's bio says, I am Charlie Kirk, and that's exactly the type of person I believe is Charlie Kirk. These are the type of people that have embraced Charlie Kirk, and these are the types of things that they are stating and making declarations on, that they don't care that people are going hungry. And that's exactly why people said Charlie Kirk was not a good person. He was not a good Christian. He was not a good fellow man. He was not somebody to be revered, because the people that are literally claiming to walk in his path and saying, taking on the embodiment and saying, we are Charlie Kirk, are the same people or coming on this internet right now saying, I don't care if people starve. I don't care if people go hungry. Yeah, that's the legacy that he left behind. These are the people that have picked up the torch and are carrying that type of legacy, saying they don't care if their fellow man, woman, and child go hungry. So, wow, way to be a great, caring, loving, Charlie Kirk toting Christian man. Let them starve.
You can afford to get your nails done, new tattoos, fake lashes, taking vacations, all that stuff. If you can't afford that, you can afford to buy your own groceries.
That line about lashes and nails, it's coded racism. For more on that, let's go to the research. I'm Dr. Shauna, a PhD who does hot takes with citations, and this is part 4 of our 5-part series on why we blame the poor. Today, we're talking about racialized stereotype. When I say coded racism, I'm talking about messages that use racially loaded cues without saying anything about race specifically. These cues are often used to trigger resentment and shame when we're talking about welfare because of the historical context in this country. When we use the words lashes, nails, and luxury, we are giving a racial message. Those words carry a racial message, whether or not someone intends to. That's the impact that they have. Now, for those messages in coded racism to have meaning, there has to be a context. And for that, we have to talk about the welfare queen. A couple of folks have mentioned this in the comment sections of the other parts of this series, and I think it's very important that we talk about it. Image of the welfare queen comes from the late 1970s and 80s, and from the one and only Ronald Reagan. Welfare Queen is a caricature of a black woman supposedly gaming the system and living large on government assistance and welfare benefits. Decades of journalistic and historical records show the ways that Reagan used this term purposefully. He leveraged a distorted story about a real person, Linda Taylor, in order to sell a broader moral tale that racialized poverty as black, female, and fraudulent. He then used that rhetoric to justify punitive welfare policy. Sociologist Patricia Hill Collins calls figures like the welfare queen controlling images, and these images are spread through pop culture, through the media, in order to dictate how we see marginalized groups. This stereotype, this caricature of the welfare queen, is used to make inequality look deserved by portraying black women as deviant or irresponsible. Scholar Kimberly Crenshaw argues that policy debates often treat black women's poverty as a moral pathology, failing to match a white middle-class ideal of womanhood. That's why talk of lashes and nails and new bags and new cars is never neutral, because ultimately it signals who must perform humility in order to deserve help. Now, to really understand this, we also have to talk about respectability politics, or the politics of respectability. And that phrase comes from historian Evelyn Brooks Higginbotham. Respectability politics describes the moral standards placed on Black women, standards that are weaponized to police appearance, sexuality, and consumption. Writer-scholar Tracy McMillan Cottom argues that beauty works like social capital with different rules and returns for Black women, which is another reason their adornment is scrutinized as evidence of morality. You can tell a lot about a society by who it thinks deserves joy. Black women's joy has historically been treated as evidence of guilt. Follow for more hot takes with citations and stay tuned for part 5 in this series.
I seriously love this. It's so disappointing that people like this, people who have sworn to help people no matter what, no matter the situation, no matter how difficult it is, but due to their professionalism or maybe the way at which or the profession they found themselves, they should be able to have a little bit of compassion. But it's disappointing that these same people who were all looked up to have this compassion, like you cannot even fathom that compassion is from them. Like you cannot even trust them anymore. How can you comfortably come out to mock people that you know deep inside of you that maybe in the situation that they actually put themselves, life can sometimes happen. I've seen so many people, so many stitches where people are like, oh, go get a job. Like I am not disputing the fact that people shouldn't work. Like the thing is that there are so many people actually doing this, and with the benefit, they without the benefit, they cannot even meet up to their expectation. Like they can't even meet up. I have seen so many other stitches where people still talk about how they work, but they still need a shoulder to lean on. Like even with the way at which the economy is, you cannot even feed your bill with just one job. You have to go as far as doing one or two or three jobs in order for you to, meet its means. It's not easy. Like I said before, there are so many people who I have seen their stitches, so many people who were up there before, like they were up there, everything was working all good for them. And all of a sudden, life happens and they have to just look for where to lean on, like a shoulder to just lean on for a while before going up. And I am not also going to dispute the fact that there are people who are actually abusing this SNAP benefit. There are people that are abusing it. There are people who have actually made it a business transaction. People go as far as defrauding the system all because of this benefit. I am not disputing the fact that people like that need to be held accountable. People like that need to be dismissed. Those are the people that actually destroy the system, that abuse the system. There is this particular stage which I think is I'm gonna put it up before or after this, where this couple were just defrauding the system in the name of SNAP. But with that being said, they are actually spoiling businesses for people who need it. They are spoiling the system for people who actually need it. I read so many articles where people say that veterans are of higher percentage of people who are under this SNAP program. Veterans, like people who cannot even who have worked for the country, but now that the country have to like compensate them for all of their years. Now they're giving stories. They're giving stories that touches the heart. And someone who is in a profession that need your compassion to attend to people, a nurse, like I thought they are the ones who really understand how it feels, who really understand the struggle of a layman, because they are in a position whereby they have to cater for both the rich, the poor, the middle. Like they should be the people who have this compassion the most. But it is so disappointing that we can't even find such people anymore. People have become so hearted that they don't know what it means to feel sorry for people. And now this lady with the state, she is even in a red state that requires this, and now she's all muggy. It baffles me that so many people actually thought that the people who benefit more on this snap are people that looks like me, and without even realizing that at the end of the day, snap benefit and every other benefit is just like Obamacare and the other care, affordable care and Obamacare. They are all the same thing. But no, some people do not want to understand this. They actually thought that, oh, this is going to affect black people. Oh my God, without even realizing that all of those benefits are just same thing. Just like Obama and affordable care. But no, so many people are so eager, so comfortable to mock people, thinking that, oh, they are mocking black people. Oh, probably black people are the ones who receive this SNAP benefit the most. And the shocking revolution, the shocking findings is still making everybody to like, oh, wow, oh, they are actually the ones that benefited the most. Like, when she's all doing this, like sometimes I just wonder how people reason. You know that so many people have gotten repercussions and consequences of this type of action, but they keep on doing it. Like, I think they enjoy people trying to tackle with their job. How will you be playing with your job? And now see, everybody, your information is out there. All because you cannot just stay one place. Anyway, lovely. So now just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. Please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So lovely, if you're not subscribed, you girl a huge people to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. Share, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.